Ready to hit the pause button on your parenting fails? Ready to feel better about your parenting? Welcome to Parenting Pause, the podcast, where all of you is welcome. I'm Leslie Potter, the founder of the Pure Joy Way, a mother, a parent coach, and a fellow traveler on this journey to wake up in our parenting. And I believe together we can make this a better world for ourselves and our kiddos. I was talking with a lovely client the other day, and she said, my son did not come with an instruction manual. And I paused for a moment and I said, from my view, he actually did. I truly believe that our kids come fully with their own instruction manual, with their own GPS. And yet often we aren't interested in reading their instruction manual. We're more focused on our parenting manual. So we have all this conditioning. We've read these manuals since we were children. We have our parenting template. We've also read a million books, and we have all of those ideas in our mind. And therefore, when we read the instruction manual for how to be a conscious parent or how to be a good parent, we begin to project all of those onto our children. And then what we forget is that they have their own instruction manual and they are giving us all the clues. They're telling us how to be with them, when to be with them, where to be with them, their preferences. If you had more than one child, right? You may have 2 or 3 children or more. And one has a different rhythm than the other. One likes to get up early, another likes to sleep late. One likes broccoli, the other likes apples. One has a high sensitivity level, let's say, to emotions. The other may be really practical. So when we really begin to look at our children and everyone in the family, we recognize that, everybody is giving instructions all the time. And yet we often don't want to read those instructions. I laughed when I was talking to her. I said, it's kind of like, you go to IKEA and you buy something and you think it's going to be easy to put together and you bring it home because you've seen the picture. So we have this picture, this idea of how our children are going to be. And we think, this is going to be so easy. And then we start putting it together and we realize, this is challenging. I really need to read the instructions. Because the instructions aren't sometimes the way we want them. It's not easy. We think we have a better way. And yet, if we slow everything down, this has been the greatest gift I've had for myself. When I slow everything down, I can recognize that my daughter is expressing all the time and giving me instructions on when I can enter her space, how I need to enter her space. When my daughter was 6 years old, we had a fight, and I was really upset with her, and I went over to her and I said, how am I supposed to get into your heart? Why won't you let me in? And she looked at me with her big black eyes, and she said, Mama, there's a little tiny crack in my heart, and it's your job to get through it. Now, that was what I was up against at 6. And it was so incredibly profound because in that moment, I recognized that that was my job. My job was not to stretch her heart open or push my heart into hers or pull or try to get her to follow my instruction manual to love me and to behave in a way that I would feel loved. That I was the adult, and it was my job to get through that tiny little crack. Now, to do that, I had to really recognize that she had her own instruction manual. And she was offering me clues all the time. She was telling me with her behavior, with her eye rolls, with her expression, with her preferences. And yet I was so adamant that I had the instruction manual of how to be that good parent. And I so wanted to be the loving, good, conscious parent that I wasn't willing to read hers. So I'm going to encourage you this week to really look at your children and to see what are they telling you. If they roll their eyes or they slam their door, they're giving you some instructions about how you're trying to enter, about how you are with them. They're not out to get you. They're not trying to threaten you or disrespect you. They're giving you the instructions of how they need to be met. So often, I always tell parents, we say to our children, I need you to take out the trash. I need you to do your homework. I need you to go to sleep early. I need you to eat good. I need you to get off the computer. I mean, we have a lot of needs on our children. And I guarantee you, they're doing the best they can to meet our needs. And yet at some point, are we willing to turn back and say, what do you need? How do you need me to enter your heart? How do you need me to enter your space? What's your rhythm? What's your timing? When do you feel safe? When do you feel loved? It's so profound. That's all I can say is when you move back into that energy. My daughter describes it that I used to put my wantings on her. And when I did, she said she couldn't find her own wantings. So, of course, there was resistance. And when I turned back and claimed my own manual, right? If I turned back in and began to listen to my instruction manual and healthily separate it out from her, then I could see how beautiful her being was. And I could read the instructions and I could begin to show up and be that parent that I wanted to be, the adult, beautiful parent that could create this environment for this exquisite child and her brilliance to reveal itself. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.